Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got a post here from Drop, and they have said, Drop Inc. has partnered with Pinnacle Corporation, a leader in cloud-based POS solutions, to bring pay-by-bank and pay-by-stablecoin payments to the US fuel and convenience retailers, an instant, low-cost alternative to card networks. Okay, so if you're not aware of Drop, I have covered them before, but they were a company who were recognized by the Federal Reserve, Fed now. Whether they're going to, work with them in the future, I don't know, but they were recognized. So that is definitely a big deal. And so let's get into what this use case is then. Integrated into Pinnacle's Affinity Cloud POS, this solution helps retail stores cut transaction costs by up to 2/3, improve cash flow with instant settlement, and drive loyalty and repeat business with built-in offers and rewards. For retailers with average transactions under $10, card fees eat into profits. Drop's real-time payment technology, built on US bank rails (USD) and Hedera's distributed ledger (stablecoin USDC), offers a faster and more affordable alternative. Join us for a live demo. We'll be showcasing this next generation payment solution at the NACS show, October 15th to 17th, 2025 in Chicago, booth 4488. Come see how Drop is shaping the future of real-time payments. Okay, so this is something that I'd been mentioning to you guys a little while back, and this is kind of Drop's real main use case, and that is basically micropayments, microtransactions. And I've kind of explained this before, so I'll really quickly explain it, because for my main audience, you've heard me say this a few times now. But what you've got to understand is just how it just said there with regards to card payments. It's just imagine you going into a corner shop, right? And let's just say you wanted to buy something really cheap, nothing that was too expensive. Let's just say it was something like some chewing gum, and let's say the chewing gum cost 50-60 cents, right? And you only had your card on you, you didn't have any change. And you say, hey, can I pay with my card? Most likely the retailer is going to say there's a minimum card spending limit, right? And the reason why they say that is because there's fees to use the card. To use the card terminal, there's fees. And so if you're using your card to do a 50-60 cent transaction, the fee is actually going to cost them more than what you've paid, right? So let's just say to do the actual card transaction, let's just say it's like $2 or $1, for example. Well, if they've only earned 50 cents from that transaction, it's like, well, is it really worthwhile, right? So they're going to say, well, okay, you have to spend a minimum of $5, because otherwise they'll just think, what's the point? It's not really earning me enough money to be worthwhile making people do these card transactions for me to make a real profit. And so don't get me wrong, it's completely understandable from the business side of things. I completely get it. But this is where, when crypto's now being put into practice, we can eliminate all that, right? Because the fees are going to be so cheap that you're going to be able to do it, even if it was 50-60 cents for the retailer, that's still going to be fine, right? Because the fees are going to be literally less than a cent. So now it's if you want to use 50-60 cents, yeah, that's fine. And the other thing is as well is that, the way you use a card at the moment, funds get earmarked on that card, right? So you'll notice usually if you go to an ATM, you have an account balance and an available balance. And the difference between that is your account balance is basically what is showing in the account at that time. Your available balance is basically taking off anything that's earmarked to go out of the account. So for example, if you had a $10 account balance and then you went to a shop and paid for something for, let's just say $5, if you then go to the ATM, your account balance will still show as $10, but your available balance will be $5, because that $5 purchase that you did from the shop is earmarked to come out of your account. So you're not going to have to spend that $5 because that's already accounted for, right? And so this is where, again, the convenience of what crypto can do is it's instant settlement. So once you pay for that on your card, it doesn't need to be earmarked anymore, because that will go through instantly. So whatever your account balance is now, you won't need to have an available balance in that regard. It'll just be, hey, you just spent $5. You've now got $5 on your account left. That's it. The money's gone. You're not waiting for it to be taken out or anything like that. It's just gone. So you can see the benefits now in that regard that, banks are going to have for their customers, right? For the retail, businesses, and also for the average, day-to-day person. This is the kind of stuff that's going to be huge, guys, in the future, because, you know, this can scale to so many different things, like, you know, newspapers as well. You know, if you think about a newspaper company where at the moment, if you want to read their articles, you have to go to their subscription, right? Like a monthly subscription. Well, imagine them being able to say now, like, okay, maybe we're not going to be able to get people to do like a monthly subscription, but if we do an article that they're really interested in, we can just charge them for the article. So they can say, okay, well, if you want this article, you can either join to our monthly subscription if you really like what we do, or if you just really want to read this one article, pay us 20 cents or 40 cents and you can just read this one article, and that's fine. You'll have access to that one article. This is what microtransactions can enable. You know, like thinking about streamers and stuff like that, doing live donations and all that kind of thing. Like, this is the kind of stuff that's going to be really, really big in that regard. So I think microtransactions is going to be a really good use case. Drops seem to really have a good presence in that regard. Like, I've seen them around for a while now, and they're doing a lot of stuff when it comes to, you know, like microtransactions, basically. And this is an example of that. Really glad to see that this is something that's coming through. Glad to see that it seems like they're still continuing to, you know, make strides within the industry. And I think this is going to be a successful use case overall, because why wouldn't it? You know, once again, if you think from a, you know, a shop's perspective, like a business owner of a shop's perspective, if you can now say, hey, you can use this crypto technology, you will not have to pay any fees anymore. Like, not fees to a point where you're going to, you know, visibly see them. Like, they're going to be so minuscule and minor that they're basically free, essentially, because it's so cheap. Who's not going to do that? What company's not going to want to do that? Even like big retail stores, of course they're going to do that. You know, the bigger the better, because they're spending a lot of money with their cards as well. And the thing with like the big retail stores, they will just take the hit because they're big retail stores, right? So even if you go into the shop and just spend like 50 cents, they're still going to accept that because they're such a big merchant that they just have to take the loss on that, right? So this is going to be something that's going to benefit businesses big and small, right? It's not just the smaller retailers, because the big retailers are going to, you know, save a lot of money as well. So yes, this is going to be something that will be adopted. Now, will it all be by drop? I'm not saying that necessarily, but it is going to be what crypto technology enables. So the fact that Drop's already here releasing this kind of product, yeah, could they be one of the early adopters so they get a big chunk of this, you know, this use case? Yeah, absolutely. And these guys are on Hedera, so really great stuff to see. This is one that I've been keeping my eye on for a while. I really do like the idea of this, and I just think it's something that could easily be successful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see how this would be something that would fail. Do you know what I mean? So like, I'm really confident that this is going to do well. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. You know, as I say, I will continue to watch them, but this is what the technology brings. And this is why, as I said before, with crypto technology, Hedera, like, yeah, of course people are going to upgrade to this stuff. Like, why would you turn this down? Like, no thanks, I'll just stick to the old school stuff where I pay way more money and it's way more inconvenient and it takes days for the payments to go through. Like, who's going to pick that as the better alternative? Now, I get that people might be skeptical, but we're past that now. Like, we can see that crypto is being broadly adopted. You can see that, you know, the government are starting to accept crypto. It's being brought to the forefront. So we know that it's here now. And so I think a lot more trust will happen. And I think as we start to go through the next coming years, we're getting to the mass adoption stage. Now, I don't know how long it might take to get to the full mass adoption, but it's coming. I'm pretty confident of that. And this is just stuff that reaffirms my belief. So real great stuff to see here. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.